Usually, I don't make videos on different news stories with video games when it comes to NASCAR, unless it's something that's a big deal and unfortunately bad news. And again, unfortunately, for about the last 2 decades, the majority of major news has been negative. And, well, I would personally say that this is another hit onto NASCAR gaming fans. And it's a roadmap that was released by Motorsport Games yesterday, as of recording this video. And you see a lot of stuff of DLCs on there, and that's nice and all, but that's not the big news. The big news is that there's going to be no NASCAR 22 at all. NASCAR 22 is what a lot of people who have been defending Ignition in Motorsport Games have said is going to be the better one. Just wait till 22. Next year's game will be better. Ignition was just a fluke. Well, maybe so, but 22 is turned into 23. NASCAR 23 at the moment being aimed to release in the middle of the 2023 NASCAR season, probably. This will be the first time since around 2009-2010 that there will be no new NASCAR game. Again, when we think back to that time just after EA, we kind of think of that as being kind of the dark times when there was no direction whatsoever. And even though there's a company itself that has the license at the moment, well, be real, it feels the same way, very directionless. And instead, they're just going to be doing updates on Ignition and a new Switch game, which might just be kind of an updated copy and paste version of the last game that they had on Switch, which, in its defense, from what I've heard, is actually not that bad. The problem I have is honestly a lot of this. You see, for one, I am of the belief that NASCAR games should come out before the season starts, much like any other sport league or racing league has, where you have the brand new rosters, all the new paint schemes, and you can add them in later. That is something that is now available to do instead of doing it at the end of the season when almost everything will become outdated within a couple months. And yes, I know they said the middle of the season, but let's be real. They said that there was going to be an update in April that's now going to happen in June. So they haven't really been staying on their roadmaps as well as they could. This is all coming in light of the fact that, well, there's questions from the industry, from people who are gaming reporters, from motorsport fans, YouTubers, whoever, and I think are very valid questions about their longevity and their money situation. Remember that in the 2021 Q4 call, there was not enough money to finish the 2022 year, according to the different people in the call. This is something that I think people shouldn't forget, as if a company is at that dire of straits, you need to question every single move that they have. And I don't think that questioning these moves is a bad thing. I just want to know what's going on as a fan. When you see the absolute disaster that NASCAR 21 Ignition was, you can understand that really anyone who wants to play an actual nice NASCAR game is going to be asking questions every step of the way. This isn't something to be negative. This isn't something to be a hater. This is something that is valid to ask. Stock prices, as of recording this video, are at 97 cents for Motorsport Games. Remember that they opened up and got as high as $35 only about a year and a half ago. And it was as low as 92 cents earlier last night. And this is all while it came out that Dmitry Kosko, the CEO of Motorsport Games, is going to get $5.4 million this year, which, according to a lot of metrics, is about a 632% increase over what he made last year. Now, maybe some of these things are fudged or have been misinterpreted, but still, that's the narrative running right now, and it's the one that people are going to be questioning with. Steam numbers right now are showing maybe a couple dozen players a day on this game, and like Austin Aganoski said recently, a lot of those might just be content creators. And you also got to ask, where's the IndyCar game at? Because that's something that's sort of been put on the shelf. It's MIA right now. Now, everyone from fans to NASCAR YouTubers to actual gaming reporters are having more and more valid questions. NASCAR fans have been told for about a decade now, just wait till the next one, that the next one will be good. They just need more time. Just give them your money and they can invest that into making a better game. Well, NASCAR fans have done that over and over and over again, and it's only gotten worse. We've went from the Heat games, which went from horribly broken to start with, to passable to, I would even say Heat 4 being good, back down to even worse than before. So I don't see how NASCAR fans should be expected to really just pay the bill for a broken product. With reports of Motorsport Games debating that having the season update later this year could possibly be as high as $20 to $30, you kind of wonder just how much they're going to get in return for all the work they're going to put in the next year or so. That is a valid question as well. Where is the return on investment really going to be at? And I got to say this right now, if you're mad at fans for their responses, if you think fans need to lower expectations even more, you've completely lost the plot. This last year or so has been completely unacceptable from any business practice in general. If you went into another field and released a broken product, for instance, let's say lawnmowers or cars, something with a motor, and the motor didn't work or it constantly was having issues and you had to turn the car or lawnmower or whatever off and then restart it up, I think you'd have a lot of people who would be questioning why this company is making such a broken product and why even when it's fixed, it's still making a rattling sound and a noise the whole time and doesn't have a rear view mirror. It seems to be a pass in the video game sphere that, well, the games can be broken. You just gotta wait for the next one. It'll be better from there. No, we need actual working games. If that is the standard you're telling me I have to lower my expectations from, again, you lost the plot. So what do I think should be done with all this? Well, I think there's two options, one from Motorsport Games and one for the community itself. Motorsport Games needs to address the spiraling situation of public perception. Even if most of this stuff might end up not being true, right now the public is running with it, and Motorsport Games needs to get a handle and a grip on what's going on and try and get the narrative back in their direction. They've lost the trust of one of the most loyal fan bases when it comes to brands, and it is going to be damn hard to win them back when a lot of that older base, and when I say older, I mean older teenagers on up, have switched over to iRacing, because while that older base might not come back, a younger base can be built over time if it works out. So you need to get some of these people back on so you can generate some hype for what's coming up. Now on the community side, you can move on, you can do whatever. You might even see more fan projects come up. A friend of mine and fellow YouTuber Idk Player is actually making a NASCAR game on the Roblox engine, and it looks pretty good. So maybe fans have to shift towards more of an independent, technically not NASCAR, but pretty much NASCAR type of game. That might be something to do. Maybe NASCAR sticks with Motorsport Games, but says, listen, we can't do exclusive deals, and the free market wins out. Whatever company makes the best game will win out in the end. Look how that worked out in the early 2000s. We had great games for a long time from different companies. So I think that there can be hope, but it's up to NASCAR and the player base to make that happen. And as for Motorsport Games, I hope they do. I really do. I don't want to see them fail. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I see the presence they have at the track, and it's a fun atmosphere that I really don't want to leave because, in a way, it really helps bring a lot of younger fans in who probably otherwise wouldn't be. So, again, I don't wish ill will on anyone, but at the same time, if NASCAR needs to move on, they got to move on. If the fans got to move to independent games, move to independent games. Do what will make the community grow. That is the big thing that needs to be done for all parties. Make the community grow. Now, that's just my take on all of it. I think that this should be talked about a little more than it is, so I wanted to say at least something on it. Now I want to hear yours. So let me know down in the comments below, what should the future of NASCAR gaming be? Let me know down there, and while you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content. To all my channel members, thank you so much for supporting my channel, and until next time, have a good one.